hit into the boards and he's looking over his shoulder, getting rid of the puck early. It was a little bit of a scary time for him, but I suppose that's the first time he's really got involved in a physical battle in the NHL. It was, you know, the game was 2-2, and Malkin steps up, wires one over Kolzig's shoulder. In fact, that might have been 3-2 at that stage, but fantastic stuff. Yeah, Ovechkin had made it 3-2. Malkin responds straight away with another goal of his own. Great shot. Backstrom, I have to say, impressed me. Ovechkin has always impressed me. He's a great player. Capital dominated much of the second period, and we went into the third period tied at 4. Slow start to the third, got very, very lucky. Capitals have a goal washed out of the face-off, which I think was a bit harsh. Supposedly a holding or a hooking penalty on there. 15-20 seconds later, on the power play, we got the other end and score. That just happens, you know. What goes around comes around, that's the way I look at it. We're going to have some bad luck sooner or later. Hang on. No, we haven't got Sidney Crosby. That's our bad luck. That was some good luck. Conklin came in for Sabrin, and he was good again. Sabrin, 4 goals on not too many shots is not too great. He just doesn't perform in Mellon Arena, but never mind. Late in the third, actually, I thought that late in the game in general, we did a really good job of doing to Ovechkin what Tampa Bay did to Gonchar, just shutting him down, not giving him any space to shoot, and that really did stifle him. He didn't like that, and we kept it tight. Mike Green, I have to talk about for a second. Capitals defenseman, currently the top defenseman for goals this season, which is, you know, where's he come from? He's never scored this many goals in his career in a season. But I like the way he plays. He's like Letang. I mean, he loves to skate with the puck. Letang doesn't score as much or shoot as much, but, you know, very similar in the way that they just glide around the ice, love to rush with the puck. Good stuff. I like that. I like him. Few too many penalties throughout the game for my liking. It was a little bit niggly. There was, you know, little bits here and there, and just didn't seem to be needing to take those penalties. You know, if you're going to take a penalty, take one that's, you know, going to take someone with you. Give them a little shove here and there, and just get something going. And so, you know, those penalties weren't great. Gonchar, on the other hand, was great. 3 helpers, but he was good on D as well. His stick check on Ovechkin was great. I can't remember when it was. It might have been late in the third. Ovechkin coming down his favourite area, down the left wing. He's about to turn Gonchar inside out and bang, no. See you later. Just gets that stick in there, gets the puck away, and off we go. Overtime, 5-all. Had a great chance to win it. We had 5-on-3 for about a minute, but we just didn't shoot the puck. The strange thing there was, we had 3 defensemen out on there. We had Gonchar, Whitney and Letang. And I guess Letang was out there for his right shot, but he didn't shoot. You know, that's something we've got to think about. You know, if you're going to put a guy out, a defenseman out there who's out there for his right-handed shot, I mean, you know, he's got to get out there and shoot it, or at least, you know, make sure that he's setting up lots of scoring chances. Goes to a shootout, and, you know, what can you say? The 2 Russian Alexanders do it for the Capitals. Great moves by Semin and by Ovechkin, and Conklin didn't have a lot of a chance, really. Ruti with a nice move for his shootout goal, but, you know, losing on a shootout with the injuries we've got is pretty, you know, we did really well to get as far as we did, and, you know, we just got to keep going from here, keep our heads high, and keep the pressure off Malkin. Make sure that he doesn't think that he's got to do everything, and that he's, you know, that he is the best player on this team, the best defensive player on this team. But he's got to, you know, I'm sure that they're doing it, but they've got to make sure that he doesn't feel that he's got to do it all. Okay, before I go, just thought I'd get my chat on about NHL Hour and the Penguins-Flyers game, which was now last night. I listened to NHL Hour first time for quite a while, and they had Gary Bettman on there as usual, and the first caller was bang on. He said that he didn't want the goals increased in size, which I don't think was going to happen anyway, because it's changing the fundamentals of the game, and he didn't want the goalie equipment changed because he was quite happy with the way the game, you know, 4-3s, 2-1s, who cares? Bettman initially said that he wasn't looking to change anything, but then he went on to say that personally he wanted scoring up a bit, and he and others agreed that goalie equipment could be smaller. To add to that, in the first NHL hour, which I think I mentioned in my first vlog, maybe the second one, he said that they were in the process of changing the goalie equipment. Later on, he said to another caller, "That's absolutely right, and we have to take a look at that, and we're going to take a look regarding goalie equipment being too big." So, you know, that's not really very good for the NHL commissioner to answer one guy's question, you know, just with one thing to make him happy, and the next one to, you know, actually tell the truth. He needs to say to that guy, that the first caller, "Look, we're looking into it, we're not quite happy with the way it's going," and that, but, you know, he's not really sort of a guy for being in the public eye, I don't think. The NHL Players Association guy, Paul Kelly, talked about globalisation, which was nice. He said a team in Europe is some years away, but down the road we should consider it. So that's cool. But they're not considering any kind of expansion at the moment. He also said that. Onto the Flyers game. Larac and Cote got it over with early, a fight in the opening 3 or 4 minutes. Larac got a lot of good hits in. Cote might get credit for the takedown, but I think it was Larac that got the win there. Not much happened in the opening 5. Stahl had a good chance. A couple of long shots from Conklin, nothing serious. Nearly had a short-handed chance. Talbot couldn't quite find Stahl in the centre. Talking to Talbot, I was really frustrated with our early performance actually. No one was coming out and being physical. You can be physical without being dirty, and that was the problem last time. We were a little bit, well, I mean, okay, only later on we got a little bit dirty and just cheap. But Talbot came out and he was just throwing his weight around, and you know, at least someone was. Flyers went one up. Umberger again, you know, he's got us at the moment this season. He's all over us. Penguins goal though, what a great shift. Great pressure from Ruutu, Filovic and Christensen. Malcolm got the change and came on. He just ran the show, got the puck out of his skates and poked it in the net. Great goal. Didn't deserve it, but we needed it. And on that shift, Ruutu really got in there. He got a big hit on. He took a hit. He just, you know, he did his job. Got in people's faces, got in the corners, and was digging away. I have to say though, Mike Richards of the Flyers, an all-star this year, signed a 12-year contract earlier in the year for the Flyers. Fantastic first period, absolutely all over the place, you know, in a good way. He was really good defensively. He had a couple of great chances, and later in the game he had a couple of good chances on backhands, which unluckily hit the goalposts. So, you know, credit to him, good game from him. Not much happened until the Flyers scored just after we'd killed a penalty. We did well to kill it, and poor old Max Talbot was destroyed. He smashed his stick after that. He'd worked really hard on that penalty kill. I think he'd been out for almost all of it. It wasn't a great second period. Too many penalties really. And you know, we took a stupid penalty. The Briere took a stupid penalty, and we levelled it up, which you know, again, we probably didn't deserve on the flow of the game, but you know, we'll take it all. Nasty end to the period. Larac was lining. He was really wanting to get into the game, and I was saying in previous vlogs that he needs to get his physical presence there, or maybe earlier in this one. And he was lining up Downey. Downey just kept his body low, going into behind the net, and Larac just gave him a shove in the back, straight into the boards head first. Nasty hit. Could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, he got up and played on, but Larac was kicked out for that.